Hello, today I just wanted to show a quick video about my Elgato setup. So I'm going to go over the parts I use and then how I set it up. I'm using it for multiple consoles, so I'm going to go over how I have that all wired up. First I have my Elgato HD60. The one thing I did do this is I put some Velcro on the back of it, so I'll mount it, and then when I have cables hooked up to it, it won't wiggle around and then fall off and get damaged. So far that's worked pretty well. You want to use a pretty big strip, otherwise it's just gonna fall off anyways. So, and then for when I do PS3 gameplay capture on that system, I do use a splitter. All these parts I got off of Amazon, so it shouldn't be hard to find. I'll post links at the bottom to be able to find these. So this is a powered one, so it's pretty simple. Oh yes, I know you can't come out now, buddy. So you run your in and then your outputs. So you wind up not hooking up here. You end up having it split here because of the protection. So this is what I use for my PS3, and I'll show how that's all hooked up in a little bit. And then for my PlayStation 2, I have a component converter, so it does work pretty well. So here it's not the standard one, so I'm not using the cables that would come with your typical PS2. I am using just the normal the components. I did notice a bit of a bump up with the overall visuals. It was about the same price. I mean, these cables were $5 on Amazon. Again, I'll show a link to that. This is also powered, so if you have issues with just power outlets and whatnot, you might want to consider a few different options. But so far I like this. And then each one of my systems, I run off of a different HDMI cable. So after a while that does get confusing. So I do label them. This is just masking tape. Eventually I'll make some... No, you can't come out right now, buddy. Eventually I will make some heavier duty labels. And then ideally I would label both sides. So when I'm switching things around, I know which cable goes to where. So these are the parts. For the Xbox 360 and the PS4, that's the typical, you don't have to have any of these extra bells and whistles to get it to work. You just pretty much hook it straight up there, so that's no issue at all. So when I come back, we're going to actually show the hookup, and you'll have to excuse the wire mess. I'm still kind of sorting it all out. Alright, so we're going to start off with the first setup, and that would be the PS4, since that's the easiest and most basic one. So we have the PS4 here, along with all my other consoles, and then we go up to my TV here. So the back cable will connect to my Elgato, so we'll follow that along. And actually, and if you see here, here's my Elgato mounted, and then the PS4 cable here, hence the label. And then our out, we're going to go, and then this connects back up to the TV. So when this is all on and activated, you'll come back around and you'll see the delay here. So that, you'll notice here, there's the difference. So you notice the slight lag there, but that's just what it is. So that's the PS4 setup, and then the Xbox 360 setup is also the same, and so is the Xbox One. So I'm going to jump to the difference for the PlayStation 2 real quick. Alright, so this time it's the PS2 connection that I'm going to show. So we have the PS2 hooked up and running, and we have its cables. Sorry, you have to... Cables running from the back of the PS2 down there, running over to our converter, going to our HDMI, and then this is running all the way over here. Let's move the TV out of the way. There we go. So that's our video converter cable. So it's going in, and then USB hooked up, and then this is going to the monitor. So we have Silent Hill 2 running here.
James, did something happen to you?
And then we go down to the computer itself, and we see that they're running. So pretty easy peasy. And then we're going to do the final one with the Switch, which is a slightly, for the PS3, which is a little different, and you gotta kind of do it part by part, so I'll come back with that.
Maria?
Alright, so my final setup that I'm going to show today is my PS3. So we have the PS3, it's HDMI coming all around, and it's going to be going into the input here. So this is your HDMI PS3 cable right here. So you probably want to label this side too. So then we come to the switch part. So this is the Elgato cable, and then this is the TV monitor. So if we come up here and follow it, so we have the input here coming down from the switch, and then if we follow it around, you'll notice you don't have the output because of the switch. So here's our cable from the switch to the Elgato, and our USB hooked up. So here we have the gameplay, and then if we come over to the monitor, we got that gameplay. You want to make sure that in settings, that you are set up to the PlayStation 4 settings and not like Xbox or anything. Otherwise, it'll tell you it's not compatible. Then you'll just have to switch the settings, turn off the program, and then restart it. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the Elgato to adjust or whatever it's doing. So if the first time it doesn't work, turn it off, turn it back on a few times, and it will get it. So sometimes like it'll drop the single when the PS2 first boots up. So you might have to try it again a couple times, but then once it's running fine. And I have some test footage from games, from all these games, and it seems to, once it's going, it's pretty good. So if you found this video useful at all, or if you have a different setup that's working for you of different parts, please post in the comments below, because everyone has access to different components, cables and whatnot, and it's kind of useful to know what's working and what's not working. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.